So the Love is Blind creator responds to accusations that the show cuts Black women. And so former
The show
cast
does what to Black women? What? I didn't hear.
cuts Black women
Cuts Black women.
from the show.
Oh, okay.
After season one, cast member Lauren Speed accused the show of cutting all Black women. This is when the creator decided to, defend the show's casting practices. And he said, Chris, I will never pretend to be able to speak to everyone's point of view. On Love is Blind, we invite a very big pool of people to participate in the show. Not everybody finds love. When we do have more couples than not, the way that I lean into deciding who it makes sense to follow is who feels authentic. Our track record for picking genuine couples is pretty good. In fact, one of those couples just happens to be Speed and her husband, Cameron Hamilton, who tied the knot during the Love is Blind season finale in 2018. We chose to follow them. They didn't choose that. And then he goes on, it's really easy for people who don't have a complete understanding of what goes into this process to have points of views about the process. And I think that's great. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Was Lauren out of pocket or on the money with this take? About
Lauren.
the
Lauren,
Lauren, but the former castmate, from
who's with
season one,
Cameron?
right? Who
Lauren and
called him
Cameron. I
out?
remember them. Lauren said this? That Lauren?
I just said that Lauren called out the casting process of
Okay.
Love is Blind, and then I
Let,
read
let
to you
me
the
say this.
response.
Let me say this. I don't know what the process is because I'm not privy to that. All I know is what I see on the screen. Okay. Because I'm a viewer. I don't know what goes on behind the scene, what the process is, what she specifically meant by that. So I'm going to be very careful about how I respond to that.
He is the producer of the show is a man.
Yeah, regardless, whoever the
Okay.
person is, I'm looking at the results. What we see, the viewing audience, what we see is what we can address. I don't know what the heck they do behind the curtain. Okay. All right. Are we good with that? I don't know what the process is. But if in fact what I see on screen, I would presume that it's a result of the process. Okay. And I see plenty of representation of Black people. Okay. In fact, you and I have discussed it ad nauseum. We are only 15% of the population, if quite that much, between 13 and 15% of the population. Why do we need to be 40 and 50% of the show? Why are we on every show where if you got one Black couple, you ended up with 4 or 5 couples? Listen, whatever the numbers are, if we coming in more than 15, 20%, because sometimes it's like a half person if you're doing the math technically, okay? But round it up to round up to the next highest number, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If we coming in more than 20% of any show, unless it's an all Black show, okay? If we coming in more than 20%, we are overrepresented. Now, I don't know what the hell she's talking about, the process in the back, but what I see in the front, with all these type of shows, Married at First Sight, Love is Blind, Booba Dooba 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 Scuba, whatever, all these type shows, these particular genres, we are overrepresented, not under. We are underrepresented in a lot of things. We're underrepresented in upper echelon, upper management business. We're underrepresented in, maybe property ownership. We may be underrepresented in a lot of areas, but baby, we may be underrepresented in owning professional sports teams. We can go on and on for a minute, but we are not underrepresented in these bullshit shows, okay? We are not. In fact, I've been keeping a particular eye on it, right? Now, come on, daughter. Haven't I been talking about it?
Yeah, you have.
Why are we 40%? It's 5 couples and 2 of them are Black. That's 40% of the show. We ain't 40% of the population. And why are so many black men on these shows and, this or that? The black women are more adequately represented than the black men, most often. And we are generally overrepresented, period, in this particular genre. Not in other areas, but in this particular area. Lauren, I don't know what the hell you seeing in the back there, but what we're seeing in the front, what the audience is seeing, we are more than adequately represented in these bullshit shows. And that's the way it goes. And that's what I don't know why. And Lauren, if you got a beef about something, you need to make it real, not these shows. You need to talk about maybe education or down in Florida or women's rights or, voting registration. You need to get real. But these here bullshit shows, we are overrepresented.
She also said a lot of like the dates or the casting process, it seemed fake, like some of the, couples and matching and stuff.
As I said, Lauren, I want you to hear me. I said bullshit. If you understand what bullshit means, then everything you're saying is underscoring and co-signing on what I'm saying. The shows are bullshit, and that's all you're saying.
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
You know what I think, I think it's not that important at the end of the day. I think
that's what I'm saying. Thank you, daughter. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Lauren, if you got something significant to say, let it be about something that's relevant, not these BS shows.
I think that we need to work on more representation in in the business world, like you said, in education. I don't think
voter registration, women's rights, okay, human rights.
It's important.
Come on, Lauren.
In fact, when they do, unfortunately, sometimes when they do have Black people on some of these shows, they don't really necessarily do right by them. So I'm not. I'm just.
It ain't no do right about nothing because the shows are BS from the beginning to the end. If you happen to stumble upon by serendipity, you stumble into a relationship that's good and meaningful and loving and all that. Hey, it's the same chance as if you just walking down the street and meet somebody. Okay. It ain't nothing significant to do with the show. The show just gives you exposure. If you make a few dollars, good, this and that. Come on. Cut it, Lauren.
But I think that a lot of these, well, at least the ones that I watch, there's plenty of representation. And it's not,
absolutely.
And the thing is, and
the ones that everybody watches.
And let's be real, it's not just when you're talking about minority representation, it's not just Black people, there's Asian, there's Latin, Afro-Latin, and all these different things. And you have to think about that.
So Lauren, I'm not Lauren, you need to really, Lauren, deal with the numbers. We are the 15% or less than 15% of the population. Somewhere between 13 and 15% depends on a modest estimate is 13, a generous estimate is 15. What numbers are you looking at that you feel that we're underrepresented in this particular area? No, Lauren, I'm sorry, sis. You're wrong. You're flat out wrong with what you're saying simply because the numbers don't reflect what you're saying.
Okay, well, I'll leave it alone. I haven't done research as far as what Black women are concerned, but I know that they have a lot of Black men.
We see them. They have more than 15% with the Black women. The Black women.
I don't know.
The men may be higher. Yeah. The men may be higher.
Yeah.
But
some of those dating shows,
women meet the threshold. The women meet the threshold. The men are just higher, even worse.
Well, like some of those dating shows, like Too Hot to Handle or Love Island. I don't know of how they are with the Black women. I know that they have a lot more Black men. They do
have more Black men than women, but they have a number that is representative of us in society with the Black women, because the percentage is low. The number is low. The men are just, milking it, or they're milking it with the men, however you want to look at it, So, but yeah, we talked about that before. We hear you, Lauren, but we think that you in the right church, but the wrong pew. Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna leave this alone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Ma. So I don't know if you heard, but well, you like M&Ms. I know you like M&Ms, right?
You mean candy?
Candy, yes, not the
I
rapper. You like the
love
rapper?
M&Ms.
Do you like the rapper?
I don't know too much about them, but I like lose yourself.
Okay, okay, good. All right. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and check out full episodes of the Bamgboshe Happy Hour podcast streaming on most platforms.